as we all have this intuitive voice that tells us what's best to do. It doesn't tell us what we should do, but what would be best to do for us, right? So before we start, I want to remind you that your path is already taken care of. And all you need to do is to make the next steps and, as much as possible, avoid worrying. If you're able to stay in that sensation of trusting the process, trusting yourself, trusting your capabilities, you will notice that every time you're worrying, you're like in fight with yourself, you're in fight with what's happening. You're in resistance to flow. But doesn't matter how heavy situation may be, you recognize that worrying will not get you closer to where you want to be. It will just prevent you to get there faster, because it is slowing you down. It's like an anchor. Worrying is always anchoring us somewhere to feel stuck. Like in a river flow, you would be, holding to certain rocks, so the stream of a river can't move you further away, further towards where you're meant to be. So I want to give you a few reminders that will help you on this process, because all of us may find ourselves in certain situations where sometimes we feel stuck, sometimes we feel like everything works against us, sometimes we feel like we want to give up, like sometimes we are receiving messages from people who wanted to end their lives, and through certain synchronicities, sometimes they come across the right information, the right video, the right book, or something that was just the right for them, and it waked them up to a new level of enthusiasm that reminded them that maybe there is a deeper meaning. And every time I read those messages, I feel like people truly can change. And sometimes we just need to get the right insight, or the right trigger needs to activate within us, right? So I want to remind you to always go after that dream that you have instead of people. Go after dreams, not people, my friend. Because you will notice we can follow other people. You can follow some, like this channel, for example, you're following myself here, and you may be following many other people, and those people may inspire you. We may inspire you to live your life in a certain way. But at the same time, we may be distracting you from your own dream, because you may find yourself, I want to paint like Gasper is painting. But deep inside you have this dream that actually you want to be a unique individual artist, or whatever you're working on. So the point is that you take inspiration from people, but don't follow their steps, because you have your own path to walk and to pave eventually. So go after your dreams, not people, is a great advice, because you will notice that more than anything, you can look around yourself for insights, for knowledge, for wisdom, for potential inspiration that can feed up your inner fire to go after your dream. And to go after your dream doesn't mean that you just follow your bliss without, managing your life. Maybe right now you're at a job that you hate, and you may be thinking like, I actually want to do more of what I like to do, or more of what I love to do. But I can't see myself doing that without being able to support myself financially. So start this side project where you start working on a dream, but at the same time you're going still at your old job. You will notice even your old job will become more meaningful, because suddenly you have a purpose in your life. Suddenly you know how to invest that money that you're getting as a salary more wisely. And suddenly everything will start to make more sense, and eventually you will start finding ways how to support yourself in that dream project, maybe without your job. And of course, for me, it took me about 3 years to figure things out. So don't rush the process. Sure, right now we're in a whole new time and there's many more options, but for us to adapt to a new lifestyle, it still takes time. It takes actually a lot of time for us to figure everything out, to organize everything, to connect the right information, gain the right skills, so we can start maintaining a new lifestyle. So take it easy, but always go after your dream, not people. Even certain people may take you into a certain direction and it may sound interesting, but if it doesn't resonate with your inner truth, with your inner heart, don't go there, my friend, because you will notice that your inner voice is with you. And as I always say to you, build a relationship with it, because your life will just become much easier and much more fluid. It doesn't mean that you will let go of all the struggles and challenges, but at the times of deepest worrying and fear, you will in tune with it, and it will tell you what to do. It will tell you what to do. And I know that. I've been through financial struggles, I've been through struggles in relationships, and I've been through struggles when people promised me that they will support me financially at the beginning of my journey. When a person called me, hey, I want to buy your painting, and sometimes it was a commission artwork where they promised me a certain, how much they will pay me. And I put a lot of hours into a painting and then they just disappeared. And things like that happen on our journey. But it needs to happen. So we learn the downside of that. So we learn to handle everything. We become a bit more resilient. We become a bit more stable and balanced. And we recognize that not all information are good information. Not all good news are actually good news, right? Until we sign a deal, nothing is finished. Nothing is done. Nothing is complete. So we need to learn all aspects of life, so then we can slowly start flowing through it. But as long as you are able to, let's say, self-regulate at the times of hard challenges, you will notice that fear is nothing else but this false story that is telling to yourself that you should give up on everything because you're not capable of doing that. That's where you should actually look into your inner child and ask yourself, what do you need? And what were the times in your childhood where you've been the most surprised that now you're lacking faith into yourself and your own capabilities? Another reminder I want to give you, is it is deeply related to what I said, is to learn how to love yourself. And I know you've heard it before, and sometimes people say, hey, you're constantly repeating yourself, and I do. And I love that, because I know you see me growing through the years. And I'm not growing because I'm constantly finding new information. It's because I'm returning myself to old information and seeing them from different perspectives. Like reading same book over and over again, and every time you read it, you see something new in it. It's because the personal evolution, the evolution of consciousness is so complex and there's nothing new to it. Like, you can't explain it in so many different languages. More you go into the truth, more you recognize how simple it is. That's why we have to repeat ourselves. And every time we hear something, we should question it. How could I apply it in my life? Even if I've heard it hundreds of times, am I applying it, or is this just repeating in me intellectually and I actually don't understand what it means? That's why I say it's constantly repeating. When you start applying the concept of self-love, you recognize it's nothing intellectual here. It's an act of acceptance. It's an act of validating yourself, seeing yourself, noticing yourself, being there for yourself, tapping yourself onto your shoulders and saying, hey, I did good here. I did good. I am good. I am enough. And you start giving yourself more of what you need. Like, I've noticed for myself, in the morning, I will do a workout. I will stretch myself. I will meditate. That's a self-love practice for me. I need those things. And then through the day, I just feel much better because of it. Even when hard times, sometimes, things come that challenge us. But as long as I know how to love myself, I will just not allow myself to fall into fear. I will stay in my heart center and I will accept what is happening. I will say to myself, well, everything is as it's meant to be. And I will take the most out of it. I will make the most out of it. And 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it would be really hard for me. But now, sometimes I'm just laughing at those things. I'm still sometimes hard on myself. But I can now easily pause myself and say, hey, it's okay. It's okay, slow down. Do your daily reset. Sit down, breathe a little bit. Plug yourself out of what's happening, go within, and connect with yourself. And you will see that there's always a way. Because of your mental chattering and fear, you've been blinded. You couldn't see a door that was invisible. But then I go into this deep state of quietness and suddenly I know what I have to do. That is self-love, isn't it? Self-love is that you say to yourself what you needed to hear at the times when no one was around you. And you've been so hard on yourself because all those old programs turned on and started blaming you. So love then needs to be awakened within you so you can say to yourself what you need to hear. And that's something you actually learn to do when you open your heart. When you start practicing more of feeling love for yourself. Like in meditation, when you open your heart, when you imagine, you can imagine a ball of light sparking and awakening in the heart center. And just imagine how it is awakening. More it is awakening, more it starts generating light and warmth sensation. More you start to feel love that is generated from within your body. And that love is a sensation you feel for yourself, you feel for the space around you, you feel for the planet Earth, for all other planets, for all other life around you, for the air that you breathe. And that plugs you into this infinite interconnectedness of life. And this infinite interconnectedness of life reminds you that you're never unplugged from it. And more you stay in awareness of it, more you recognize that it works through you, it moves through you, it supports you, you're supported. And it just happens to be that this connection is a really creative force that connects all of us. And this creative force helps you to solve challenges and problems, to find innovative solutions that can improve your life and maybe end certain challenging times you're dealing with. And all you need to do is to learn to build a relationship with it. Actually, through that inner work, I've come across an idea for this YouTube channel that I've started building years ago. And I just believe that in this inner connection, I'm plugged to the source. I feel connection with it. That's where I get ideas for my art. And I just feel presence of something divine. And in that presence, I can ask it for what I need or what would be helpful or what should I share with your something like that. It's a really incredible thing you can do when you start maintaining that. So I want to encourage you to learn how to love yourself. Another thing I want to remind you is to never lose your childlike wonder. Wonder is such a beautiful emotion. It puts us into a state of childlike playfulness. When we are in awe for something, like hearing a new song of our favorite artist, or seeing a new artwork of our favorite artist, or watching an incredible new movie, or meeting a person we haven't seen for such a long time and we have this deep connection, or going to new places, or starting a new hobby, or trying ourselves out, challenging ourselves out in a certain hobby or certain thing we wanted to do for such a long time, or calling a person that means a lot to us, or going somewhere we haven't been before but we are thinking about or feeling it intuitively, or reading a new book that sparks a lot of curiosity. Whatever gives us this childlike wonder, never lose it. Too many people have lost it in their lives because they've started living based by certain standards of society that don't even work. People who set them up are not happy, are not joyful, and don't look at those people as examples of how you should live, because you should set up your own standards that work for you, and you should follow them to see the truth, to find the truth, which should be your mission, which should be something to live for, to live in your truth, not in certain beliefs because somebody told you them and they sound interesting. They should only inspire you to look for the truth in them through your own experiences, with wonder what else life can offer to you. So if childlike wonder is something you've lost in your life, I want to encourage you to start looking for it once again. To ask yourself, what could spark it? What could spark it? Is this a sport you've been doing when you were younger and you've stopped doing it because of lack of time or because of your family? Or is that an activity? You know how often we receive messages from people who started painting after so many years because they've seen my videos and they say, well, I don't remember when was the last time I was so happy or so joyful as I'm now, as I've started, giving rebirth to my inner artist. That can be you in anything that may give you this sense of wonder. So look for it within your heart. What may spark a sense of wonder? If you say there's nothing, then you need to look deeper. Then you truly need to take time and meditate on it, because there is something. There's always something. And another thing I want to remind you is that you're capable of much more. Anytime you think you've done everything, you're capable of much more, because we don't even know how much we are capable of. I'm always surprised. Every time I start a new painting, I challenge myself with that painting to add some more details, or to make it more complex than the previous one, or to do something new. Like right now I'm working on a painting that includes sacred geometry, and I'm just going deeper and deeper with it. And 2 times, as I mentioned, I thought I failed it completely. I thought I will repaint it or overpaint it. But then I give it a chance, like most probably it needed to happen how it happened. So let's see where it will take me now. And then I'm always surprised because it just ends up better than I could ever imagine. So I love this feeling now of being surprised over what I did. It happened so often to me when I'm painting. And that's why I love to remind yourself to find something that will make you feel surprised of how capable you are. Like maybe doing a certain workout that completely excites you, like you thought you're too old, or you thought you're not capable of building that skill. Like sometimes people say I'm not good at dancing just because they never tried it, or because they tried it as they were young and someone was laughing at them, and now they think they're not good at it. But then they find the right dancing type and the right music and everything, and they lose themselves in it, and they say, oh, I never thought I was capable of doing that. So I just wanted to remind you of these playful things that are more important than anything in life. Isn't life about these joyful sensations that just make us wiser, more open, and more connected to everything? Isn't life all about this childlike wonder, as we've been talking about, and finding purpose in beautiful things, in something that just make us feel more connected to one another and to life itself? Isn't that what life is all about? So just meditate on this a little bit. And I hope you found something valuable today. If this video resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel because it helps to bring this message to more people. And thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. The link is in the description of this video. So thank you so much for your support. With that, you're supporting this mission, and I'm truly grateful to you. Until next time, one love.